Hello Americans channel. This video is made by free videos from Storyblocks, and these images and video we use just for explanation, and it's free use also.
Her pulse pounded in her ears. Was this a cruel trick of the mind, or had reality just unraveled before her? She had seconds to decide. Should she chase after the ghosts from her past, or let them disappear into the golden haze of vacationers drifting through the lobby? Lady Spot's daughter and son-in-law who tragically died 5 years ago and follows them. As the receptionist typed away at the computer, Miriam's attention drifted. That's when she saw them. Just beyond the check-in desk, near a display of vibrant seashell souvenirs, stood two figures, laughing, relaxed, alive. It was impossible. Pamela and Frank had been gone for half a decade, hadn't they? But there they were, as clear as day. How could this be? Could two strangers really look so much like them, down to every detail? Or had everything Miriam believed about their deaths been a lie? "Ma'am, your room key," the receptionist said, their voice barely registering in Miriam's ears. Without shifting her gaze, Miriam's hand shot out, snatching the key blindly. Her focus remained locked on the couple as they stepped away from the gift shop, making their way toward the exit. "Take these," she ordered, shoving her bags toward the nearest bellhop. "I need to go." She rushed forward, her breath coming in short, uneven gasps. She was embarrassingly out of shape, and the couple was nearly out the door. "Pamela!" Miriam's voice rang through the lobby. The woman froze mid-step, turning slowly. Her eyes went wide with shock. There was no mistake, it was Pamela. "Mom," her daughter murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "This isn't what it looks like. We can explain." She stood stiffly, arms folded tightly across her chest. "Explain." "Now," she said, her voice firm and unwavering. Pamela hesitated before stepping forward, reaching out hesitantly. "Mom, please, just listen. We had our reasons. We won the lottery." Miriam's expression remained unreadable. "So you decided the best way to handle that was to pretend you were dead?" "It wasn't just a little money, Mom. It was life-changing. If people knew, everyone would come looking for a share. We just wanted a fresh start, no strings attached." Miriam's tone sharpened. "No strings attached? Like skipping out on the money you owed Frank's family after that failed business? Like abandoning your cousin's kids when they had no one else left?" Frank's expression darkened. "We didn't owe anyone anything. This was our opportunity to finally live on our own terms." Miriam scoffed. "I'm sure dodging taxes wasn't a factor at all." Then she turned to Pamela, her voice raw with pain. "How could you do this to me?" Pamela lowered her gaze, tears welling up. "I didn't want to hurt you, Mom." "But Frank said." Frank cut in sharply. "Don't pin this on me. You were on board from the start." Miriam's tone softened as she reached out. "Pamela, please. Come home with me. We can fix this. Make things right." For a fleeting moment, Pamela's eyes flickered with hope. But then Frank's hand tightened around her shoulder. "We're staying right here," he said, his voice firm. "This is our life now. We have everything we need." Pamela's shoulders sagged. She turned away slightly. "I'm sorry, Mom," she murmured. "I can't." Miriam stood motionless, taking in the sight of the two people she no longer recognized. Without another word, she turned and walked away. 3 years had gone by. On a dreary, rain-soaked afternoon, a sudden knock echoed through the house. When Miriam pulled open the door, she found Pamela standing there on the porch, drenched from head to toe. Her arms were tightly wrapped around herself, and her eyes held a hollow, lost expression. "Mom," Pamela's voice wavered. "Can I come inside?" Miriam hesitated before finally stepping aside. As she took in her daughter's appearance, it was clear how much she had changed. "What happened?" Miriam asked, keeping her tone measured. Pamela sank onto the couch, her shoulders slumped. "Everything's gone," she murmured. The money, the house, everything. Frank, he got caught up in bad investments, started gambling. And then he left. Took whatever was left and vanished. A part of Miriam wanted to pull Pamela into an embrace to reassure her that things would somehow be okay. But the pain was still too raw, the betrayal still too heavy. "What do you want from me, Pamela?" she asked in a quiet but steady voice. Pamela's lips quivered. "I had nowhere else to turn. I know I don't deserve your kindness after what we did. But, Mom, I miss you. I regret everything. I'm so sorry." A heavy silence settled between them. Miriam struggled with what to say, her heart torn between resentment and the love she still had for her daughter. Finally, she let out a slow breath. "I can't just pretend none of this happened, Pamela. What you and Frank did, it wasn't just deceit. You hurt a lot of people, not just me." Pamela nodded, tears streaming down her face. Frank didn't just want to run away from his debts, he wanted to dodge taxes, too. And everything else? The money he refused to return to his own family? To him, that was just a bonus. "If you really want to make things right," Miriam said firmly, "then you need to take responsibility. That means going to the authorities. Telling them the whole truth." For a long moment, Pamela remained still, as if frozen in place. Then, ever so slowly, she gave a small nod. "All right," she murmured. "I'll do it. No matter what it takes." She rose to her feet. "First, let's get you into some warm clothes. Then we'll go to the station." Pamela hesitated for a second before looking up. "Mom," she asked quietly, "will you stay with me while I tell them everything?" Miriam stopped, then gently squeezed her daughter's hand. "Of course," she said, her voice filled with warmth and urgency. "I'm not going anywhere." Relief flickered across Pamela's face as she gave a small nod, inhaling deeply. Then, all at once, her expression shifted, her jaw tightened, her shoulders squared, and a steely resolve took over her features. "Let's do this. That's my girl."